Hey y'all, it's Joanna, and I love to DIY on a budget and make beautiful home decor. And if you like to sew, then catch me on Saturdays. Now, let's get crafty. Hey y'all, I'm with my good friend Sabrina from Sabrina's Craft Nanigans. Me and her are hosting a Thrifted Thursday once a month for my Thursday videos, and we'll have a few people in this playlist. It's just started, so give us time, but the dates will be announced prior to us posting. You know which one will be this, but we'll be doing thrift flips, yard sale flips, dump finds and makeovers, and trash to treasures to decorate your home or your yard or whatever. So yeah, so let's go. Let's see what everybody's got. Their links and the playlist will be in the description. So we're going to be doing thrifted baskets. These came from Goodwill. So this one I've had for years, but I did thrift it. It looks terrible inside, but we're not going to use the inside, okay? But let me get this off the bottom. It's easy to scrape off. I already washed it, and I've been using it as props, and that's what I'm going to use it for props for my staging. But anyway, I'm going to give it a coat, actually 2 coats of Waverly's plaster. Now, this Waverly plaster paint would have covered the whole thing, but I couldn't get that black. So, I mean, it looks like it's doing pretty good, but I did give it, like I said, 2, some people would say 2.5. I don't see a half. You gave it a coat of paint. So I gave it like 2 coats of paint. Okay. And I'm going to do the lid. Now that black on the top, it definitely took 2. So there it is, all done. And I'm going to be using my finger to do this because I don't want it down in there, but I'm just going to take Waverly wax and I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to rub all over the whole thing. And then if I get too heavy fingered, I guess, I don't know. I would say heavy handed, but yeah, I'll wipe it back. So there's what it looks like. And I love it. I love it. So yeah, there's the lid. It's a little bit darker and that's fine. It kind of looks like, some kind of house out in the fairy thingamajigger. But anyway, that's that one. And then this one is a wooden basket. Everybody's like, you haven't done your video. I did this video today and I'm editing this evening because these are not hard. That's why. There is a water stain in this and it does show, but I'm going to, what was I doing? Oh, I was spinning I have a spinny thing over there with a lot of paint and Mod Podge and stuff like that, or I don't know, water, this stuff. So I'm going to give this a coat, and this is just white chalk paint, okay? I just put it in one of those Pioneer Woman bottles I got at Walmart. I got a few of them. But anyway, I'm going to give this 1 coat of paint, and I was trying so hard not to paint that basket part, but I ended up painting it. See, I painted it white. Now I'm going to take burnt umber, just acrylic paint, and I was carefully trying to not get the white, but I ended up painting the white. So anything that was the, weave basket, I painted brown, okay, and left the other white. Okay, now make sure that you check out all the ladies in the playlist. I'll leave the links down below, and I accidentally got worse. I made it worse. I got it on there. I had to sand it off and repaint, but stuff happens. So this is French linen chalk paint. I get this at Hobby Lobby. I absolutely love this color. And I'm going to take one of these brushes from Dollar Tree, and it's a stipple brush, or I don't know what you call it, but anyways, I'm just dry brushing, and that's just getting paint and offloading it a little bit, and I'm going to go around that whole thing. Look, it's beautiful. I love it. Okay, now here comes the hard part, okay? I got my Mod Podge. I got my Mod Podge brush. This is just matte Mod Podge, okay? And you can get it at Walmart, any hobby store, Dollar Tree, in little bottles usually. And I'm going to go around the whole thing and let that dry. Okay, now I'm going to take this napkin and my water pen. You can just dip a paintbrush in water and it works just fine. Take your layers apart. I have sticky on my fingers, a little bit of Mod Podge, so I got that apart. Now this has little bitty bumps in the bottom and I did not like it at all. So I'm just using my mini press to get those out. You can get a little mini iron at Walmart and it works great. You can use a regular iron, whatever you have. I was trying to figure out how wide I had to go, and I don't know why I'm going so abruptly around like that edge like that. I could have did it just straight. It don't matter. So when you get it wet, it easily pulls apart. So I'm going to take that and save it for later. I'm not using the rest of them because they were short, so I have to do that to another napkin. And then I used my pokey tool. Now, my pokey tool is not like the normal pokey tool from Dollar Tree. I take a piece of sanding block or whatever, sandpaper, and I rub that pointed end, not the pointy end, but the other end, until I get it like, I don't know, it's flat and it's sharp. Okay. So then I use it to just take and pull my wet paper. Now I'm pushing real hard with my finger while I scrape that paper away. Now this is all Mod Podged and it's dry. So this is on a round surface. Okay. So what we're going to do when you use your iron, it reactivates your Mod Podge. Most of you know that, but in case you didn't, that's what I'm doing. So I'm just going to set this on there. Y'all don't do that. Just use your parchment paper. Now I have to be rebellious sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. I had to do that because I can't see when I put the wax paper on. It really makes me nervous with the wax paper, y'all. I have no idea why. I'm crazy. That's why. So you have to put a slit in it and then pull it around, and it'll look like it's going to wrinkle, but it does not matter when you iron it. It looks good. It's like, I don't know. It's wonderful. So I'm going to go around and I'm just going to pull it, and I'm going to clip where I need to and adjust it. And then I'll just hit that with the iron real quick. I do have to clean my iron. This is why you don't do that. But now I'm going to go over it, and I'm going to keep clipping and ironing, clipping and ironing until I get that piece done. And then I'll join the other piece to it. And yeah, just cut it off. And if you have to, you can get a little bit of Mod Podge on your brush, because we're going to Mod Podge over it anyway to seal it and put a covering over it. And you'll just Mod Podge your ends down. Easy peasy, not a problem at all. Okay, I got it all ironed down, and I'm going to take my little sander and I'm going to sand off any excess that I have on here. And then I'm going to Mod Podge over the whole thing with just matte Mod Podge and seal all my edges down. So here it is all finished, and I'm going to set that to the side. And I have this bird that I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to paint it the color that matches one of those flowers. It was $2.99, but they're like 50% off, something like that in their spring shop. So this is Pink Cloud by Waverly, and it's pink, but it's more of a like peachy coral. Look, it's beautiful, ain't it? I love it. So I painted it, and it took 3 coats because it was slick. And this is white wax. Deco Art, I think it said. I don't even remember what I saw, but I got it at Hobby Lobby. I do know that. And this stuff is weird, but I love it. I didn't want to do Waverly brown wax, but this will lighten up the bird a little bit. And I'm just going to take a soft brush, okay? And I'm going to rub it all on the bird and make sure I get it in the flowers of the bird, the eyes of the bird, and all that. And I'm going to, when I get it rubbed in real good, I'll take a paper towel, or you can use a soft cloth, and lightly rub it back. Now, if you rub it too hard, you're going to rub all your wax out of your crevices and all that stuff, and that's not what you want to do. However, if you do rub too much, you can always put more wax on it, no big deal, and then rub it back off until you get it the way you want it. So I'm just applying wax, rubbing it back, apply wax, rub it back until it looks good to me. But look how it gets down in those creases. I think I show you the close-up of the finished bird. Yep, right there. Look. Oh my goodness. Ain't it beautiful? It's so pretty. Okay. So we got that done. Now we got our crate. Now the paper that the bird came in from Hobby Lobby, they wrapped it. I'm going to wad it up. I'm going to put a lot of glue down in the bottom of this basket because this reminded me of a bird nest. I don't know why. When I seen it, I saw a bird nest. And so, yeah. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to make a bird nest. So to fill it, so I don't have to use so much of that precious moss I got, I'm going to put the paper down in there, wad it up. Now I'm going to take some moss, and this is I had to go look. It's Spanish moss. I don't know. Moss is moss to me, whatever, it's moss. So I'm going to take glue and run it all over my paper, and then I'm going to stick my moss in there. Now, I tried to make it round, we're trying to make a bird nest, not house, bird nest. And so I'm going to fluff it out the sides, make it bigger on the sides. Well, you see what I'm doing. I'm not putting glue or Mod Podge or nothing in there. Normally I take Mod Podge mixed with water and it gets real sticky and nasty, and then I form a bird nest, but don't need it. So I'm going to take that was a stick. So I'm going to take some of this reindeer moss. I had it in my stash, and I'm going to add a little bit of color in here. I saw Jade from Scrappy Junk Studio putting a little green in there, and I actually liked it better than just using moss. So thank you, Jade. But anyway, I'm just putting a few pieces in there, here and there. I don't want a whole lot in there, just a few, just to give it a little color. And then when I do that, I'm going to take some of that baby's breath stuff. It's just little white balls on a stem, styrofoam balls, and I'm going to poke that in just around there just to give it some color as well. You'll see it later, like right now. So I'm going to take glue and I'm going to glue my bird down. Okay, it might come out eventually. And I got these little wooden eggs, and all I did was leave them wood. I got them at Dollar Tree, and then I put speckles on them with paintbrush, and I'm just going to glue them in the moss around this bird. And I would have put them on the other side where the flower is, but I didn't want to, put nothing in front of that flower. But anyway, there it is, and I'm not happy with it because I had to take that, what is it, vintage photo distressed oxide and dirty it up a little bit. So, all right, for my last two, okay, so I got these two baskets, and I thought they were really pretty. They're painted white. I'm not even going to touch that, okay, but somebody had something glued on the front, so there was a blob of hot glue. So I'm going to heat it up and try to get that off without breaking the basket. And what I ended up doing was I had real thin pointy tweezers, and I got to heat the glue up, heat it up real good, and then I'm going to pick that glue out of that basket. Okay, so I have these napkins that I got at the Dollar Tree, I think last year or the year before, not sure which. But they have some really pretty napkins this year, by the way. But anyhow, I'm going to take this, and the bicycle's too big to put on a little one. So I'm going to put the bicycle on the big one. Now, I'm not going to use any of the words. I'm just using pictures because the way I'm doing this, the words, you would probably not be able to see it. So take your layers apart. Make sure you have them all. Normally, Dollar Tree is just 2 layers. So, but you don't want to use all those layers. It won't stick. So I'm going to take my water pen again. I failed to mention that earlier, but anyway, I'm going to take my water pen, and I am going to go around the bicycle, okay? And I'm going to take the bicycle. This one didn't have any bumps on it. So I'm going to take the bicycle out of the paper, and I'm just running my water. Now you have to be very careful that you don't pull and, rip your design. If you do, you got what, 5 more? Yeah, 5 more choose from. So that's a plus. Now I'm just going to take my pink tool, and I'm going to go closer to my image while it's wet and just start pulling paper away, smoothing it around. And if I have to, I can add more water, and I'm just going to go around and take all the jaggies off and, get a little bit closer to the design itself. Okay, now comes the fun part. So I'm going to line this up on my basket. I want it in the front, and it looks like it's not in the front, but it's in the front. It's just the angle of the camera, I guess. I really don't know. I don't know how that could be when you're straight down, but anywho. So I put Mod Podge on my napkin just to stick it, and don't do it. Just do it on the basket, because I had trouble, you see. Yeah, it was a blessing I didn't rip my napkin, okay? So just put Mod Podge, put it where you want it, and then put your Mod Podge on your basket and lay it down. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking that, it's kind of soft, but not soft, kind of stiff, I don't know, but it's not pokey. And I am putting it down, and then I'm tapping very lightly to get my napkin stuck down. And what this does is it puts your napkin in the grooves of your basket and makes it look like the picture was made on the basket, okay? So you can't have anything that's going to push too hard because these napkins are delicate and you will rip them. So I'm just laying down my Mod Podge, and then I'm got Mod Podge on my brush, and I'm tapping lightly to get it down in the grooves. Now, you on the edges, you're going to have to put Mod Podge on your brush, okay? Then when you get the Mod Podge on your brush, go and tap your edges down, and you can be a little bit more aggressive with your edges, okay? And tap your edges into the basket, and that will seal your edges, and you won't even know that it's not a picture printed to the basket. It's the neatest thing ever, I promise. So when I get that on, then I'm going to let it dry. Right now, I'm just making sure I got it down in the grooves, and I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to cover the whole thing with matte Mod Podge. Now, I could have left it like that, but I can't leave nothing alone. And then you'll see in a minute. And then I cut that one out with that, and I have to put water on the bottom. But I just take these and I do the exact same process, and I put one on this side, and then I tried to even up the other side and missed the mark, y'all. I could have just left just the bicycle. I had it right there. And I don't know what happened. I really got way up there. I don't know if my napkin slipped or what, but anyway, that's how you lay them down. Just hold on to it and then put Mod Podge down and just do it as you go, and it makes it easier. Look at me ripping it off. That's where I messed up. I ripped it off and put it back down, and I did it higher. That's what happened. But it's okay. Not a big deal. So I'm going to finish putting this one on, and then I'm going to trim the bottom of that other little basket and put that on the exact same way. Okay, now I waited till everything was completely dry, and I have a soft Mod Podge brush, and I'm just getting a little bit of Mod Podge, matte Mod Podge, and I'm just going over all the designs. Now you got to make sure it's dry because you will rip your napkin and pull it back up, okay? And here's the little one, and I really like it. So here's the final reveal. Look, I love them. Okay? So I love those white baskets so much. I think the baskets are my favorite. I mean, they're all baskets, so I think the white baskets are my favorite. But anyways, make sure you check out all the ladies in the playlist. I will have it linked in my description box. And I want to, look, ain't that pretty? Squirrel. I want to thank y'all for watching. I really do. And until next time, remember that you are a blessing. Goodbye.